Why is it that the first proposed budget cuts, when there is a shortfall, are to the very things that make school meaningful and transformative for kids? Why weren't other areas of student-facing programs looked at first? Why does it feel like you've been handed a single high-stakes decision rather than a collaborative conversation on how to protect what matters most, our kids? This proposed all-or-nothing budget puts our students' future at risk, and that should never be the starting point. This is troubling, especially when we're talking about programs that are fundamental to a quality, well-rounded education. Speech services, a fully staffed library with certified librarians, not library assistants, instrumental music, the arts, and core subject remediation. These aren't extras. They are essential to educating the whole child and living up to our mission statement of preparing every student by name for success at the next level. These programs help our students develop confidence, communication, literacy, creativity, and critical thinking skills that serve our students far beyond the classroom. The same goes for high school math and language arts positions. These aren't optional. They're directly tied to academic growth, test scores, graduation rates, and students' ability to succeed in trade school, college, or a career. We all know that a strong public education system lies in its commitment to educating the whole child. These programs are not luxuries. They are foundational tools that support literacy, creativity, confidence, communication, and long-term academic success. Cutting these positions or programs now would be a step backward and put our students even further behind students in other school districts. You say we are committing to preparing every student by name for success at the next level, but if we take away these supports, how are we preparing them? What message are we sending when we cut these essential programs first? This district has alternatives. There are real, reasonable, and actionable alternatives that could and should be considered before cutting the core of our students' learning experiences. Federal and state grants, community partnerships, corporate sponsorships, private donations, they're all opportunities to bring additional support. These options need to be, and maybe already are, being pursued with the same urgency and energy we bring to cutting programs. Additionally, the school board should raise taxes to the adjusted Act 1 index limit. This hasn't been done since the 2019-2020 school year, even though you've had the legal ability to do so. The millage rate has stayed at 41.96 since 2019, and there was no increase at all in 5 of the last 10 years. In fact, over those 10 years, PSD has raised taxes just twice, both during major financial transitions. So let's put this in perspective. If you raise taxes to the adjusted index of 5.8%, the net annual increase per household after the homestead rebate is just $24.50, or about $2 a month. And without the rebate, it would be about $15 a month. This amount is not worth dismantling programs that support student growth, achievement, and opportunity. Additionally, make reductions in areas that don't directly impact students. Those areas exist and they need to be on the table. Are there positions that can be consolidated? Here is one actionable suggestion. The high school librarian could take on the college and career readiness position that was recently abandoned while still fulfilling mandated Act 339 obligations, managing the resource room and overseeing virtual learning programs. This is a creative solution that meets multiple needs with one qualified staff member and is a cost-saving measure that preserves key services. Lastly, utilize a reasonable proportion of the fund balance to bridge this short-term gap. That's what fund balances are for times like this. We are a community that values education. I urge this board to rethink its current approach. Let's stop putting the burden on the programs our children depend on and instead build a budget that prioritizes their growth, their opportunities, and their futures. Let's show that by passing a budget that reflects those values. Let's make cuts where they least impact our students and make smart, long-term decisions that prioritize the people we're all here to serve, the children. We understand the board has a very difficult task. However, this board has a choice. You can protect what works. You can preserve what matters. Let's not make our students the first place we cut. You can build and pass a budget that reflects what you say you value, our students who deserve a full, enriching educational experience. Thank you.